Tonight, Adeline is going on a date after a long time. Ever since what happened months ago, she hasn't been able to date anyone. But finally, with lots of encouragement from her roommate and good friend, Brielle, Adeline built up the confidence and decided to give things a try. And Frank seems like a nice guy. Good luck. Thanks. Here goes nothing. Hi. Adeline, you look beautiful. For you. I'll drop you home. It was midnight when Frank and Adeline left the restaurant. Walking down the lonely moonlit street together. This feels so relieving. The date went so well. I never imagined we would have such good chemistry. He has a nice sense of humor, made me laugh so much, decent, handsome. It's like he's amazing. Perfect. Well, this is the first date. Will it be too early if I want to go back to his place? As they got into Frank's car, the rain began to pour out. The atmosphere was so chilly and romantic. Frank, it's Saturday tomorrow. What are your plans? Well, it depends on what I do tonight. You know something? Let's go back to your place. Really? You know, I was thinking the same thing. Then what are we waiting for? But as luck had it for Adeline, just about 10 minutes driving, on the middle of a secluded road, Frank's car suddenly broke down. It's the engine. Adeline stepped out into the rain. Now what are we going to do? It's alright, nothing to worry. I'm pretty sure there's a motel about 5 minutes away. We can walk there. But Frank looked at the thunder rumbling in the air. Would you be able to make it? You bet. Locking up the car, Frank and Adeline rushed through the rain, down the lonely road until they soon saw an old motel up ahead. A strange man ran the register. We need a room. There is no room, he said in a lifeless, coarse voice. No room? The entire motel seems deserted. Frank pulled out a bill. Here's 100. I'm sure you can make us some arrangements now. I'll check. And finally, they got a room towards the back in the completely empty motel. What a bargain, huh? More like a rip-off. As Frank took off his coat and tie, Adeline slipped away to the bathroom. I'll be right back. So, mister, what are your plans for the rest of the night? Just as Adeline and Frank were about to get things on, there was a loud knock on the door. Now, it must be the manager. Frank shrugged as he went to answer it. What does he want? But when he opened, it was someone else. A ruggish-looking dude staring at him. What do you want, man? All of a sudden, the man pushed Frank in and closed the door behind him. What do I want? I want to know what you are doing with my woman. Your woman? Frank turned to look at Adeline, but she nervously said, I don't know who he is. Look, man, you don't want to mess with me. You can't come in here like this. This is my room, so you can see your way out. Really? And what are you going to do if I don't? Get out of my room right now. You know what? I'm calling 911. You're not doing any such thing. As soon as Frank took out his phone, the man wrenched it from his hand and broke it, and then pushed him back. Seeing Frank fall, Adeline rushed to help him and yelled out, "Jim, what do you think you're doing?" Jim? You know him? About 6 months ago, Adeline was a completely different person. She was single and desperate to mingle. But finding the right guy wasn't easy. Where do I find a man in this vast universe? Hello, online dating. Online? It's practically like going on a blind date. There's no guarantee who I'll meet. No way. On BI, Tinder, they find the perfect match for you. You guys chat, and if you like him, then you go on a date. If you say so. Alright, I made your account. Oh wow, look at this hunk. Swipe right. It was on BI Tinder that Adeline first met Jim. What does he do? Adeline looked up a picture of Jim with a BI U-Haul truck. He's a truck driver? Hey, don't judge the book by the cover. He looks a little ruggish, but he has a transportation company. He must be making good money. So, overlooking the cons, Adeline started chatting with Jim. So, do you have any hobbies? Well, recently I took a hiking trip. Love me some hunting. I hunted an elk with my bare hands. I even made a dagger out of its bones. Wow, you made that yourself? And it works pretty well too. Perhaps sometime I can hunt with you. You've been on your phone a lot. How is he? Well, for one, there's a reason why he looks like that. He's an adventurer. He's always talking about the beach, going sailing, fishing, hunting. Exotic, I like. Jim was tough and wild, a real man, and Adeline was strangely attracted to him. So after a week or two of talking, they decided to meet up. So where do you want to meet? I'm not going to his house on the first meeting. You always talk about the beach. Why not we take a walk on the beach? All right, San Diego Bay. And the next afternoon, Adeline and Jim finally met. Jim was even more attractive in person, and he seemed genuine. Look what I brought for you. Coconuts. Wow, but how are we gonna cut these? Don't worry. They spent the entire afternoon talking about his adventures, and Adeline shared some of her simple city girl life. Let's go back to my place. Jim, it's getting dark. I was planning on heading home. My cabin is just a walk away. What? You live here? Yeah, you can actually see my cabin from here. Adeline turned to spot a small wooden cabin down the shore. But I thought you said you run a transportation company. Yeah, that's my truck. Adeline suddenly realized Jim was a freelance trucker who had no steady job and now and then helped people move things and lived in a broken-down cabin by the beach. Now it all made sense why he spent so much time on the beach. On what excuse do I leave now? Just as Jim and Adeline got up, all of a sudden, someone's dog rushed up towards them, barking. Adeline was shocked when Jim kicked the dog and the poor animal scampered back in pain. Jim, what did you do? Why did you do that? The family which the dog belonged to rushed to help it. Adeline watched the two kids crying behind their mother while the man tried to soothe the dog. Dude, he was just trying to play with you. What is wrong with you, man? Get control of your damn dog. Jim sternly looked at the kids, who were looking at him in shock. What are you two brats looking at? You want me to kick your dad now? As the woman pulled her children away, Jim yelled at her. Be grateful I spared him. Let's go, sweetheart. This man is crazy. Jim, it's getting very late. I should really go. But Jim got aggressive with Adeline as well. What do you mean you'll go? We met on Tinder. You know where Tinder dates lead to. You can't just leave. What is it? Is it because of that dog and those people? No, Jim. I just don't want to be late home, and this is our first meeting. I didn't expect. No, you can't leave. When Jim continued to be aggressive, Adeline realized she had to stand up for herself. What do you mean I can't leave? I can do what I want. With that, she stormed off, got to her car and headed home. So, how was your date? Don't ask. He was a hot-headed creep, practically jobless, lives in a rundown cabin on the beach. After that day, Adeline blocked Jim's number, blocked him on Tinder. There was no way she was giving him a second chance. But that date turned out to be the beginning of much unwanted trouble. You can't ignore me. I'll find you. You're mine, and I will have you. Adeline started to get messages from Jim from random numbers. Every time she blocked one, he messaged her with another. I know where you live. You can't escape me. I have my eyes on you every step you take, every move you make. With every message, Adeline was starting to become paranoid. She always felt like she was being stalked or followed. Why are you late out of work? Who was that guy? I don't like bad girls, Adeline. Don't you dare try to go behind my back. Adeline didn't feel safe anymore. Is he following me? And things came to the point where she couldn't even sleep at night out of fear. Good night, sweetheart. You look nice when you sleep, baby. But then, finally, things seemed to tone down, and in the last 2 months, Adeline stopped getting messages. And in all this, she also met Frank at a coffee shop by her office. They somehow always bumped into each other online during their break and started talking. But after everything she experienced, when Frank asked her on a date, Adeline wasn't sure what to do. You have to get over your paranoia, Adeline. Not every guy is the same. Once you start dating again, things will go back to normal. So Adeline said yes to Frank. But now, here she was with Jim. Frank looked at Adeline shocked. You know him? But before Adeline could explain herself, Jim took out his knife. Man, please, don't. I didn't know you had something going on with her. I'm married, I have 2 kids. Spare me, dude. Adeline looked at Frank in shock. What? You're married? Oh, so you're married. Do you have a picture of your wife and kids? Yeah. Frank fumbled to get out his wallet and showed Jim a picture. This is my family. Please, let me go, dude. Alright, you can go. Hearing his chance, Frank didn't waste a second and got his car keys. Frank, are you gonna leave me here with this creep? And I thought your car wasn't working. Frank nervously headed towards the door without a word. All he wanted was to have some good time for a change from this boring married life. So he intentionally set this up and brought Adeline to this motel. But he never expected this. But just as he was out, Jim called him again. Hold on. Leave your car keys with me. Alright. And your shirt, your coat, and your shoes. In his undergarments, Frank turned to leave when Jim said, You're gonna have one long night. Are you gonna call the cops? No, man. Well, if you want, go ahead. No problem. I found her. If I go to jail, rest assured when I'm out, I'll find you too. Don't worry, man. I'm not gonna come between you two. heart raced as Frank rushed out and Jim locked the door. Now it was just him and her. In a lonely motel in the middle of nowhere. Now, where were we? Adeline passed a glance at her bag across the room. Her phone was in there. How is she gonna get to it? How is she gonna call the cops? She was trapped. I'm gonna have a lot of fun tonight, baby. As Adeline felt the cold knife on her cheek, she closed her eyes. But all of a sudden, heard a loud noise as the door broke open. BIIPD, put your hands up. A familiar-looking, homeless man barged in holding Jim at gunpoint. Immediately, the police crew arrived and tackled Jim down. And the man took off his disguise. He was an undercover cop. We've been following him for some months. He's taken the lives of 2 other women. We took him in for questioning, but we had no evidence on him and had to let him go. So we were trying to catch him in the act. He followed you here and even took the life of the manager. It turned out, all these months, Jim had been following her. But what Adeline didn't know was that the police were also following him. And finally, the police arrested Jim, and he was looking at life behind bars. As for Adeline, all she wanted was to go home. Brielle, can you pick me up? What happened? After hearing the bizarre events of the night, Brielle sighed. Well, at least Frank learned his lesson. He's gonna have to give a big explanation to his wife for why he was roaming the city all night in his underwear. And as for everything else, some women just can't find the right date. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.